Hey guys, oh my god, why am I so awkward? Ooh. I thought it would be fun to show you guys the things that I've been loving in the first quarter of the year. I love watching monthly favorites videos, but my lifestyle doesn't really change enough for me to have something new to love every 30 days, so I figured quarterly would be a good kind of first step. So yeah, I have a bunch of random shit around me, which you can kind of see right now, that we're just gonna get into. Starting off with clothes, I feel like this is a shock to no one, but I've really been loving Cezanne knits. I just love the quality of their knits. They also come in the mail like smelling amazing. I don't know what they spray, but they smell spectacular. I have the berry cardigan here in this gray color, but I also have it in a red color, and then I have the Gaspard in a pink color, and then I also have another sweater in a pink color from their men's section. So if you can tell, I really love them. The only thing that I will say is that they are difficult to wash, like they're hand wash only or dry clean, but I feel like that's no different from like the Aritzia knits. So this piece will also not come as a surprise to anyone. These are the Studio Nixon jeans. If you've watched my vlogs, I wear them all the time. They have basically two sizes, a 1 and a 2, and it's supposed to fit like a range of waist sizes and length sizes. I got the size 1. I wish I got the size 2 almost, just because the place that it sits on my hips just hits my ankles, and I like for my jeans to kind of stack and even be able to like cuff. So that's the only thing, but I love the wash. I love the way that they wear between washes. Another bottom that I've been loving are my Snow Peak Takibi skirts. I have this one in the black. My green one is in the wash. So durable. They've got like sort of a ripstop material. I wear these like pants and they're just really great, and I really love them. I feel like this is something that I've talked about before, but I really love modern Chinese fashion. I recently found a brand based in Singapore that does that kind of style, especially for Lunar New Year. That's when I found them. I have a dress that I wore for Lunar New Year, but I also have this top, and I think it is so pretty. It's just this like jacquard material, which is what cheongsams are made out of. Lily pad pattern on it. Like overall, I really like the concept of like incorporating parts of my culture in my day-to-day. I think it's like a really fun and cute way to make things more personal to you and make them unique. Moving on to accessories. Oh my god, I haven't been wearing my rings. Let me go get them because I want to talk about them. Big jewelry. Used to be like the type of person who would like stack with a bunch of big rings before, and then I went to Rome and my fingers were so swollen from the heat that big rings weren't looking too great on me, so I kind of minimized the stack, but I'm kind of circling back to it. I really love the look of the statement ring. This one is from Cezanne, and I love to wear it on this hand and pair it with the heirloom ring because I feel like the warmth of both the gemstone and the ring really complement each other. I've also been really loving big hoops. These are from Pilgrim, and big bangles too. For shoes, I would say the two that I've been wearing the most are these boat shoes from Cezanne. I just love the structure of them. Sort of a loafer than a boat shoe to me. Yeah, and I just love the color. I've also been loving the fact that I can wear my tabbies more. I bought them in October and it quickly got like super cold and the weather was inappropriate to wear them without ruining them, but it's getting warmer here in Toronto, allegedly. It was snowing yesterday, but today it's like 20 degrees. Eventually I'll be able to implement these permanently into my shoe rotation, and they're super comfortable. Moving on to makeup, I feel like I am the type of person that does not change my makeup routine. Like I've literally been doing the same thing since I was 16 and just like adding little bits here and there. With my lips especially, I hate the feeling of having something on my mouth, especially if it's like tinted, but I've been really loving this combination of products just because they don't feel like too different from how I normally look. These are the products that are always in my purse, but I just have the MAC Wash Pit Luster Glass, like a really pretty deep shade, and then I go over that with either the Rhode Peptide Lip Tint in Cinnamon Roll if I want like a little bit of sparkle, or I'll go over it with the Summer Fridays Hot Cocoa Lip Butter Balm. This I really love. It wears very like naturally. It goes on with a little bit of a brown tint, but then like after a while it wears so that your lips just like look super moisturized. I think in general I've just been really loving brown makeup on my face. I have like in my notes that I've been liking concepts of a brown mascara. I've yet to find one that I really like that's waterproof because my lashes are super stubborn. I am in the market. I think I want to try the like Heroin Make brown mascara, but we'll see. Along that same line, I've also been loving Prada Durable Gliding Eye Pencil in the shade 02 Wood. I got this at their event last month. Yeah, I need to buy a sharpener for this, but I've just been like taking my brush and like and it stands out more, which I like, and it doesn't smudge. For blush, I've been really loving the Rhode Sleepy Girl. I think it's not something monumental, like I think the color is not anything that hasn't been done before, but I do really love the formula. I think it blends out super nicely and it looks really natural on the skin. In the past 3 months, I actually also changed up my eyebrow routine in that I've done much less. My eyebrows were looking really uneven, and maybe they're looking uneven right now too, but they were looking really uneven. My makeup was looking too like makeup-y, if that makes sense, and maybe it still does, like, but to me, I think the effect of having the eyebrows be a little bit less did a lot for that kind of issue that I was facing. So yeah, right now I only use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Gel and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in Ebony, and that's it. And it also like saves so much time in the morning, which is always a plus because I'm always running late. The final makeup product that I've been loving is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I feel like I'm so late to the game, and I've also been trying their new one, which is with vitamin C and cactus flower water, and it makes my skin feel so refreshed and also feel so... I did my makeup maybe 6 hours ago and it feels like literally nothing's on my skin. It feels like I just did my makeup. For scents, I've been loving the Salt & Stone Bergamot and Hinoki. This is just like a really nice, natural, everyday smell, and it smells super clean. And because the weather has also been getting a little bit warmer and nicer, I've been reaching for Margiela's Replica from the garden as well. I find that this one's a little bit stronger, so if I'm like doing a presentation, I have something going on in the day, is what I reach for. It smells like tomatoes. It smells like you're just in a garden. My hands have been super dry because of the winter. I've been using this a lot. This is the Aesop Reverence Aromatique Hand Balm, and the scent is vetiver root, petitgrain, and bergamot rind. This just smells like... my mom hates the smell, but to me it smells like just a little bit more chic Tiger Balm. The last beauty favorite that I have is the Crown Affair Finishing Gel. I bought this sometime last summer and I love using it for slick backs, but even more so now that my hair is kind of at this stage where it's growing out from the bob. I've been throwing it up in a bun or like a half up kind of hairdo quite a bit, especially in the winter because it gets like, again, super dry. My hair sticks to my face. Moving on to food and drink, I think you can guess what I'm about to talk about. In these past few months, I tried Dew Matcha and I also tried Nami Matcha, and I loved both of them. I find their flavor to be quite mild. I like my matcha to be very strong and like nutty and creamy, and this one is a little bit more on the mild side, but for the amount that you get and the price point and the fact that it's Canadian, I think kind of weighs itself out. So I've been using this a lot. I also really love their hojicha. I've also recently been loving making syrups for my matcha. I think it makes it so fun. I feel like it flavors the matcha not more naturally, but like doesn't make it overpoweringly sweet as a maple syrup can. Another matcha accessory, if you follow me on literally any other social media, you've probably seen this cup before. No Peak Emotional Support Cup. This is just the to-go cup that I use. I use like one of Jason's extra Yeti lids that fits perfectly in here for when I go to class. And yeah, she keeps my drinks cold and there's not much more I could ask for. Moving on to pieces of entertainment, I guess you could say. Obviously, like much of the rest of the internet world, I've been loving Severance. We started and finished Severance actually this term. Such an amazing show. I love the set design. Jason and I debate about this all the time, but I love that it was like a weekly release. I love weekly release shows. I just love like the idea of cable. Inspired people to have conversations about it in the meantime. Excitement and stuff around Severance lasted much longer than it would if they had dropped it all at once and people could binge it. Like I think people have been continuously talking about it because they're anticipating the next episode. So I think that it's nice that it's like inspired community. I don't know. For music, I've been really loving Raven Lenae. I was introduced to her on TikTok through Love Me Not and the mix that they did with Solange's Losing You. I really love the music off of that entire album. One Wish with Childish Gambino, Days, and also Genius, and also Love Me Not, obviously. I've also recently gotten into the Marias. I love their music too. My favorites of theirs are more along the lines of like music that they're most known for, so like heavy, No One Noticed. I also really like Paranoia and Sienna, and literally just anything that they put out. For books, I had really big hopes and dreams for me to read a lot more this year. I don't know, in my 2024 reads, I think I said that I wanted to read like 30 books, and I've only read one. I read Sally Rooney's Intermezzo and it was amazing. I cried at the end. Really touched on like such complex components of a sibling relationship that aren't really like always understood. I saw a lot of like my own siblings in this book too, so I think it made me feel like much more emotionally invested. Hopefully the second quarter I will have much more books to share by the end of it, but we'll see. And lastly, we have all the random stuff that I've been obsessed with recently that I didn't find a category for when I was writing my notes. For stationery, I feel like this goes without saying, I've been loving the Hobonichi planner. It did take me a minute to get used to the much smaller, like, real estate, I guess you could say. I've used the Mosseri notebook before, which is undated and you just like write the date, and I really loved it, but it just takes up a lot of space in my bag. My bags are already heavy enough as it is because my laptop and stuff, so I needed something a little bit more compact. And now that it is this size, it also fits into my purses, like when I go out, not to school and stuff, so that's great. I just love the cover. I think the cover is super nice. I've gotten back into drawing, mostly for my thesis, but also just for myself. I've really been enjoying it. I do post like process videos and like sketchbook tours on my TikTok, but yeah, I've just been keeping this sketchbook for my thesis, and the goal is to have it like all completed and have it shown at my defense once I finish. This is the Leuchtturm 120, so the paper is a little bit thicker than their normal Leuchtturms. I really love this paper. I think it's like so smooth. Definitely more ideal for like pencil and ink, as opposed to like watercolor. The way that the pencil crayons glide on this paper is such a dream. I've used such thick markers as well, like for the lettering, and it does not bleed through. So I also have a note here that I've been loving Labors of Love. I don't know what she meant. In this same vein of like coming back to drawing and like really enjoying it, I've been loving just like making things and putting time into doing things that I enjoy. That sounds so silly, like, okay, congratulations girl, you have a hobby. But finishing my undergrad and like realizing that I have so much more time and so much more freedom to do things that I really enjoy, it's been really nice. And also like in doing my thesis, I've kind of realized that there's so much more that I enjoy and so much more about my culture that I enjoy actually. So like I've been loving baking, tried to learn how to bake the bolo baos, which I'm still trying to figure out because I can't get the consistency right, but just like doing something like that or making something that I'm really proud of has been really cool. Hi, this is Allison from Beyond the Editing Grave. I feel like a real YouTuber. I just wanted to say I don't think I articulated myself that well in this entire video, but in this part specifically. Basically what I'm getting at is post-grad, finding hobbies again that exercise a creative part of my brain that I haven't used since like before starting university, and just finding things that I really enjoy, and doing things for myself again. In tandem with that, I'm also like learning a lot about my culture through my thesis. Those kind of things are like influencing one another, like my thesis and the hobbies that I'm finding, like drawing, baking, the clay printing. Being able to explore these new creative avenues has allowed me to be also more creative in the content that I'm making and explore different avenues with that, which is why I'm trying to bring my YouTube channel back. Not that it was ever on. Exploring different ways of like content creation on TikTok and Instagram, but also on here. Just like finding the joy in doing this stuff. Maybe that doesn't make sense either, but I don't know. Finally, after that entire spiel, I've really been loving home scents. Sounds like I'm saying home scents. Part of this is just Jason and I cook a lot in the house, so we're always trying to cover up a smell of like fried chicken. The first one, I think the most used one that we have is incense. I love burning incense. My mom bought this for us when we moved. This is from Le Rouge and it's the Camellia 11, and the scent notes are pear, camellia, and musk. It makes the house smell like a kind of more upscale vintage store downtown, so that's the kind of vibe. Another one that I love to spray like after we've cleaned and the house kind of smells like Lysol is the Lawn Nord Everywhere Mist. This just smells super woodsy. I love to spray it specifically in the garbage can, but I also love to spray it all over the room. The scent is balsam fir, black spruce, cedar leaf, fennel, and pine, so it just makes the house smell like a forest. I feel like we mostly gravitate towards woodsy smelling scents for the house, but we picked this up recently from Indigo because it was on sale for half off. And this is just the Hinoki Fantôme. I don't know why I'm showing you. It's a candle. The notes are hinoki, cardamom, jasmine, moss, and gaiac, maybe? Anyway, I think those are all the things that I really loved for the first quarter of the month. Let me know what you liked for the first quarter of the month. Let me know if you liked this type of video. I think I'm trying to like branch out from the vlogs also, so we'll see what other videos I can come up with. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys.